Skol, state of mind. We analyze how you play the line. Purple and yellow, we on the grind. D was the whole team, he's taking time. With expert opinions, we moving dominion. If passion is in you, then let's go continue. Bank on it just like a stadium venue. The topics we serving up just like a menu. We in our prime, high stepping. You feel the scene like it's cold peppers. Harder like Carter, but keep it smiling. Like this was the catch number 1,000. The show you gon' love it. You better tell your mama, cousin. The internet's talking and buzzing. So pull up a chair and just grab a drink. About the Vikings, tell us what you think. But we in our Skol, state of mind. We analyze how you play the line. Everything purple and yellow. Let's take it up a level. Start the show. Yeah, it's time.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. I got something I've been working on for the past couple of weeks. I know normally we do a lot of the crossovers during like rivalry week or when the Vikings play that team, but I'm going to start doing something a little bit different. I'm going to bring on, some Bears fans so we can kind of do a crossover on, what happened throughout the season and, what to expect this offseason and, what's going on and who is actually the real champs, going forward, in the NFC North. So I got my guys from the Bears Den podcast, so let's bring them up. Hey, how y'all guys doing today, man?
Good.
What's going on?
Doing good.
Good, man. Like I was saying earlier, man, we normally do these crossovers, when we play each other, but I'm thinking it's like we got to start, doing more content that's just not about, the games, especially during the offseason, and there's not a lot of talk, being brought up from teams. I don't know about y'all, but it seems like my team, they just want to talk a lot. They talk too much and they ain't really making anything happen. So, I mean, but how y'all feeling, man? Y'all the current champs of the NFC North, man. I give you my hats off to y'all. Y'all did y'all thing, I'm not going to go in here and say, yeah, if we would have beat y'all that last game, we would have won the division, stuff like that. But I call it like I see it, man. So go ahead, man. What y'all got, man?
Well, first I'm going to say happy birthday to the champ.
Hey, happy birthday.
Let me get that out the way first, because if I don't, I'll hear about it. But it feels good to be on top of the division for once. And it feels good going into an off season where we don't have to worry about a quarterback. I mean, that feels great. We don't have to worry about a quarterback. Who's our quarterback going to be? I mean, to me, we just need to make some moves on defense on all three levels. And I think we'll be heavyweight contenders for sure next year. That's just my opinion.
Okay. What you got, champ? I mean, I don't see Clarence there, so I'm going to just start calling you champ, man.
Well, man, first of all, thank you for having us on your platform, bro. I know you came on ours and showed some love, and it's only fair and right that we do the same thing to you. So thank you for extending the invitation out to us. This is a very interesting offseason for us. We have been bottom feeders for a very long time. And like Andy said, this is the first time probably in my lifetime that we can go into an offseason and clearly, number one, know who our quarterback is, and number two, feel good about it. Right. So we ain't never experienced this before. This is, I guess, you can just call us an explorer because we are in uncharted territory right now. So we've got a lot of questions about this football team from an internal standpoint, knowing that, number one, if we want to compete not only in this division, but in this conference and represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, we got to do something to this defense. You're not going to beat Minnesota. You're not going to beat Green Bay. And let me tell you, Green Bay's out for us. That rivalry has been reborn, and it is blistering right now with venom when you look at the last two times we played the Packers. So, and then the Detroit Lions as well. So this is a very competitive division. We got things that we got to do to this football team if we want to repeat as NFC North champions in 2026-27.
Okay. Well said. What you got, Ty?
Oh, yeah, just kind of a lot of the same stuff. I mean, it is refreshing to, feel solid about our coaching staff and our head coach. And, the fact that we have a GM and some teams don't have a GM.
Not saying no names.
I get it.
Yeah, that these are we're not having to answer the same questions that we have been for the last decade or so going into every season. So it's nice, and I know you guys have some questions, so it can be challenging, but yeah, we're excited about the new season.
See, I like what I heard from y'all, man. Like that's what's up, man. Like it seems like I don't want to say the roles has been reversed, but I am really disappointed about this off season. I was disappointed throughout the season. I don't know what direction my team is going in. As Todd said, we're the only team that don't have a GM right now going into part of the off season, which makes no sense to me. Like I don't know what's going on. Like I'm just like I was telling Andy earlier backstage before we started, man. Like I'm gonna be completely honest and transparent with y'all. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm one of those Viking fans that kind of see things for the longevity of this team, and I'm not there. Like we still having the same issues with who's going to play quarterback. Like we don't know what the running back scheme is going to be. We got so much reports coming out about players not liking McCarthy, the team not liking McCarthy. It's like we've been dealing with this for the past, I would say, 20 plus years as Minnesota Vikings fans, trying to find that franchise quarterback that can be here and be a staple for the future. I think y'all got that in Caleb. Hats off to y'all. Y'all got that and y'all figured that out. And the direction y'all going in is like the Vikings are going in the opposite direction of where they should be going, especially with Kevin O'Connell when he's touted as the quote unquote quarterback guy and offensive guru. I'm not buying that, but yeah, I'm just disappointed, man. I'm disappointed, man. So Clarence, I see you ready, man. What you got to ask me, man? Come with the question, man. Come on with it, man. Come on.
I'm finna show you why they call me the bad guy, because the other two guys may let you get away with this, but I'm not. So
come on with it. It's
in that little soliloquy that you just got through saying, you were remiss to mention the fact that the starting quarterback that you had that led you to be the #1 seed in the playoffs last year just won a Super Bowl with a different team because you guys let him walk out the door. Now, maybe that's got something to do with why you don't have a general manager right now. I don't know. But what I do know is this. You're the last person in the lunch line and you ain't got enough money. So
you know what, Clarence? I'm glad you brought up that about Sam Darnold, because I don't know if y'all heard this before. I was a big Sam Darnold guy. As y'all know, I'm from LA. So yeah. I grew up in LA, South Central LA. SC was down the street. I'm not an SC fan, but when I was growing up, majority of the football that we had that was consistently good came out of SC. So, that was access to me. Like, I don't look at the situation with Sam Darnold going to Seattle as like, oh man, the Vikings coulda, shoulda, woulda. I'm happy for Sam, because for Sam to actually be a type of player that he is and the person that he is, to actually have the first time in his career to basically put his career in his own hands. I'm not mad at that. You get what I'm saying? I think, there's way more other things that led to the firing of the general manager. I don't think the general manager was actually the main problem. I think Kevin O'Connell doesn't get enough, vitriol towards what he's been doing for this team, especially when he had his, hearsay on what to do. But to go with the situation with Sam, like Sam did the right thing for his career. I'm not mad at that. Like I'm happy for Sam. I rooted for Sam, for him to actually, be a good player, because how I look at it, Sam went to a team that was better built than us, that had a better offense than us, had better pieces than us, had a more consistent running game than us. Defense was better, and the coaching was better. That's not talked about a lot. And if you look at Sam's trajectory with his career and any kind of press conference Sam talked about, when they asked him like what turned his career around, he never says Kevin O'Connell. He never says Kevin O'Connell guided him to be the player that he was. He always gives more graces to Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
That was the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, because he spent that 1 year with Shanahan when they went to the Super Bowl as the backup. And y'all vets, y'all know football. That whole
Right.
OG Shanahan system, that zone running scheme that him and Gary Kubiak created back in the Denver days, that's what's being taught right now. And the offensive coordinator for Seattle was who? Clint, Gary's son. So it was going to immediately click. That's why I was like happy for Sam. So if you look at it like with Kevin O'Connell does not have that. And I don't like when people say Kevin O'Connell is a Sean McVay, disciple, because he's actually not. He's a disciple of Jay Gruden, and that's probably why his offense sucks, because Sean McVay has a good offense, Kyle Shanahan has a good offense, Matt LaFleur has a good offense, Little LaFleur has a good offense, but Kevin O'Connell is still inconsistent because he can't run the ball efficiently.
But when I look at, I'm sorry, I was just going to say, but when I look at your football team, and when you were on our show, when we were getting ready to play the Vikings the first game of the season, the main reasons why I thought we were going to win that football game, we ultimately ended up losing it. But the main reason why I thought we were going to win that football game is the inability of you guys being able to get the ball to your weapons. And for 3 quarters, that was the case. Now, after that game, you guys had trouble at the quarterback position. And everybody who knows football knows, if you ain't got a good quarterback, then you ain't got a good football team.
Exactly.
I honestly believe Sam Darnold leaving that team took y'all back a step or two. I don't think that you guys would have finished where you finished had you had a viable option at the quarterback position. Them running J.J. McCarthy as a rookie, and he got hurt in college, was a mistake. And you can't compete in this division without a quarterback. You can't compete in the NFL without a quarterback. You guys, that's the big unknown for you right now.
Yeah, and I don't believe that it was a mistake going with McCarthy. I just feel like Kevin O'Connell didn't approach the situation the right way. He led with his ego, because at that point in time, everyone's telling him that he's this quarterback whisperer, he's this quarterback guru, his offense is this, offense is that. Like, if you really look at the last couple of games that Sam played with the Vikings or whatever, we got the shit beat out of us against the Lions, and they basically were playing their 4-stringers, and our offense couldn't get it done. Then we have the game against LA in the playoffs, and the same thing happened again. Like, you can basically see that the problem with this team on the offensive side of the ball is the play calling. Like, we don't really need to talk about Brian Flores, because he does his job, with the defense. Like, Kevin O'Connell, Sam Darnold looked like trash, like, the last couple of games, which pretty much led to Sam saying, hey, I might need to change the scenery, because I've already been here for a year. I know they're going to go with McCarthy next year. Why would I put myself in a situation again to where I'm going to a situation where I played bad for them at the end of the season and I lost the last playoff game we played? I should just go ahead and go to Seattle, change the scenery, and they're giving me the starting job. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. Like, look at y'all's situation with Caleb, right?
Yes.
Caleb didn't play the way he played last year, his first season as a rookie. You can see the common struggles or whatever, but when you bring in a guy like Ben Johnson, who's a great offensive mind, he's able to mold the team and put an offense together that Caleb can understand and can have Caleb excel. He's not going to try to put Caleb in positions to where it's going to be difficult for him. Kevin O'Connell basically came into the situation with J.J. McCarthy starting for the first time and tried to treat him like he was a 5-year vet. You can't do that.
No.
Yeah, with Caleb, it wasn't, and Ben was obviously the catalyst for it, but actually the entire staff changing over everything. The assistant coaches all the way down the line made a difference there. It's funny though, because I hear you talking about the Viking situation. I mean, to hear it on national radio or any, it's O'Connell's a genius. And Kwesi can't draft for crap. I mean, that was it, right? It was like all of his drafts were terrible. And that's not even if you look at them, they were pretty bad. I mean, there was a lot of misses, but O'Connell really doesn't get any heat for any of that.
Yeah, he doesn't, and which is crazy for me. Like, I know you guys don't follow, a lot of the Vikings article because you guys are Bear fans, right? Mm-hmm. So Kwesi pretty much like the first draft he was here, 2022. That's basically was his draft. And there's reports out there saying that with that draft, because it was it didn't hit the way it should have.
Mhm.
That Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores kind of pushed out the scouts, and they were having more say so on draft picks going forward, which I get, because if you look at the way they were drafting, they were just drafting players that Kevin O'Connell wanted, or Brian Flores wanted. They weren't drafting players that had more longevity. And you get stuff like you get things like basically when the Adam Thielen trade, that wasn't Kwesi, that was Rob Brzezinski. They went behind his back and did that. Javon Hargrave and Jonathan Allen. Kwesi didn't want those guys, but Brian Flores wanted those guys, and now we have to cut them and take a couple of things on a salary cap because of it. And these are all things Kevin O'Connell was behind. You get what I'm saying? So, like the Sam Darnold situation, right? How come Sam Darnold didn't sign 2 years? Like, why'd you only sign him to 1? But that's the guy that's what Kevin O'Connell wanted to do, because he wanted to go to JJ the next year. Like
when you draft somebody in the top 10 or whatever, so they get this 3 or 4 year window, and then they can't wait to get rid of it. I mean, like, there's so much turnover coming out of this offseason, all the way from the Dolphins and the Cardinals. We love these quarterbacks until we hate them now, and now they have to go. Doesn't matter what it costs us.
And in fairness to everyone, no one saw Sam Darnold doing what he's done the last 2 years. I mean, he was almost out of the league. If J.J. McCarthy wouldn't have blew out his knee in the preseason, he wouldn't have been on your roster.
Yeah, he would
as an emergency player.
Yeah,
like he was almost out of the league. Like nobody saw him and said, "Okay, this guy's going to throw for 4,000 yards 1 year. He's going to move on to Seattle and he's going to win a Super Bowl." Nobody saw that coming.
Exactly.
I sure didn't see that coming. I mean, no one saw Sam Darnold turn into an MVP type quarterback.
Hey, but when you get good coaching, man, anything is possible. And that's just one thing that I tell Viking fans all the time, and they get on my damn nerves about it, because it's like they want to move on from McCarthy right now and try to get a veteran quarterback in whoever it is, but you're doing the same thing over and over again. You're just you're just all you're doing is just you're on the treadmill and you're not going anywhere. Like, look at what happened with Baker. Baker's a better player than what he was in Cleveland. Sam Darnold situation. Like, it happens. You need to get a better coaching staff around. I just don't believe in Kevin O'Connell as a developing young quarterbacks, because he's never had to do that. You get what I'm saying? Like, he was touted as quarterback guru, but who's the quarterback he actually developed?
Yeah, I mean, like, just to mention those two guys. I mean, we're all here in Charlotte, and and Baker and Sam were both on the roster at the same time with Panthers. But you draft Bryce Young first overall. You got to ride that out. It doesn't matter what you see in those guys; they got to go. And that's the same thing with McCarthy.
Yeah, he got to go. I mean, I look at it like this, though, right? Like, the best case scenario for the Vikings and worst case scenario is starting McCarthy. If you start McCarthy next season and he gets hurt, then he's injury prone. If you start McCarthy and he plays better and he excels and he takes a leap, then But if he plays 17 games and he's bad, then you lose games, and then you have a top 5 draft pick at that point. But you can't just keep bringing in veteran guys in place of him just because you want to win a couple of games. And it's just crazy. And I'm going to ask you this, too. I'm going to ask Clarence this. I know Clarence knows this. Who's the only coach in the NFC North that doesn't have a playoff win?
Well, we know Detroit does. We know Green Bay does. We know we do. So that would be McConnell.
My point exactly. So it's just like Ben Johnson did it in year 1. We're going into year 5. We don't have a playoff win. We're the only team in the NFC North that does not have a playoff win. Like,
well, I really heard what you guys say, and just keep in mind that your McConnell and your GM went to Minnesota. Wait a minute. I mean, before they fired him, went to Minnesota the same year Ryan Poles came to Chicago, and hired that idiot that we ended up firing. And you guys were on an upward trajectory because you had a competent play caller, head coach, whatever you want to call it, and you got good quarterback play. no matter what your position on Sam Donald is, what you can say is things started going south for y'all the moment he left town.
No,
I think I think it
no,
was a mistake bringing JJ McCarthy in and putting him in that fire as a rookie.
no.
You just can't do it.
Things went south when you decided to restructure Kirk Cousins and keep him for 2 years with Kevin O'Connell and not move on immediately. If you look at that 13-win
But you were
season,
the number one seed. But you were the number one seed in the playoffs. Things happen in the playoffs.
we
You know,
weren't the number,
were
we,
you guys not the number one seed last year?
no,
No, they were out.
no.
That was
Not this
Seattle.
past one, the year before that. I'm not talking about Seattle this year.
Right.
Talking
I'm
about,
talking
you
about the year before that.
Won
Sam
14
Donald's
games.
last year.
talking about with
Yeah.
Sam or with Kirk?
Well,
I'm
it
talking
was-
about with Sam.
We weren't the number one seed because we lost to Detroit.
What was your record?
Our record was 14-3.
yeah.
Okay.
Detroit finished 13-3. At the end of the
Who
season,
was your quarterback though at that time?
that was Sam.
That's my
But-
point.
But
But
then you
that-
win 14 games with Kurt too.
And we won 13 games with Kirk. We went 13-4 with Kirk the first year with Kevin O'Connell. But what I'm trying to tell you this, Clarence, champ, is the fact that Sam Darnold leaving wasn't like why we're here right now with McCarthy. The reason why we're here right now with McCarthy is because, and I'm glad you got used Bears fans because y'all can understand this. And Ryan Poles, when he interviewed for the job for the Minnesota Vikings, the reason why he declined is because he wanted to do what he did with y'all, was bust it down to the studs and rebuild. The Vikings organization did not want to do that. So they went with Kwesi because Kwesi was more of an analytics numbers guy, and they wanted to retain a lot of the talent that they have in Mike Zimmer and Rick Spielman to try to run it back. Running it back was the first mistake, and that's why we're here. They shouldn't have went out there and traded Daniil Hunter for draft picks. They shouldn't have allowed Kirk Cousins to walk a year before. Now, if you sit there and you think about that, right, that 13-3 win season, what did that lead to? Yeah, we got to the playoffs. We hosted a playoff game, but we ended up losing to the New York Giants in the playoffs because of Kevin O'Connell's play calling. Then the next year, even if Kirk gets hurt, right? Let's just say Kirk never gets hurt. Now you're playing against a tougher schedule. We started that season 4-4 before Kirk went hurt. We were already on a decline then, right? Kirk gets hurt. That was the year that we should have just stay pat and rebuild. But they win a couple of games, and then they're out of the running of a top 5 pick, which is the draft where you guys had the number 1 pick, and you guys drafted Caleb, number 2, Drake, and then Jagan Downs. I might have got that wrong, but that's that. So then you had to trade up for McCarthy or whatever. You wouldn't have had to do that if you would have just, not try to be in win now mode all the time. And that's one thing I've been telling Viking fans, like, we are failing at this situation because the Vikings are always in win now mode. They never take a step back to actually rebuild this team. That's why they go out and sign a lot of veterans. That's why they always want to, trade draft picks and do this and do that. But you can't be in win now mode when you haven't won anything. What have we won in the past 4 seasons?
You're one of the only teams that haven't won a Super Bowl. So let me ask you this.
It's time
Because I know what I would do. That's what I was going to say. So what is your remedy to fix this team? Are you just going to plug in things, or are you right now going to take your stars, trade it away for picks, and try to? Because I think you need to tear it down to the studs right now. You ain't got a quarterback. Now's the time to do it.
That's the only way you get better. I still believe in McCarthy. I think McCarthy is still the guy. I'm not shying away from that. And just like I said earlier, the best thing you do, your best case scenario is starting McCarthy, even if he sinks or swim. I don't understand it to where it's like, so McCarthy has injury issues. We all can say that. He's been injured.
He does.
Now, and then McCarthy hasn't played up to snuff. He's still developing, but he hasn't played good. Let's just say he's been a bad quarterback. I can say that. He's been a bad quarterback. So why you got Viking fans and why you got Vikings media trying to get guys like Kyler Murray, who's been hurt and played bad? Why are you trying to get guys like Geno, who's been bad? He's only had 1 good year That was a Seattle year. Why are you trying to get Anthony Richardson, who's been hurt and played bad? Why are you trying to get Tua, who's been hurt and played bad? The best thing for you to do is start McCarthy and see what happens.
So
it's hard. It's hard bringing a guy in like that, though. Because once he gets used to losing, he gets stuck in that muck.
No, let me tell you why the problem with McCarthy with the Vikings is because the Vikings did not value the draft and they went free agents. And when you have a team that is more dominated by veteran players, you have a hard time developing the younger guys, especially at the quarterback position, because that's why you see the Aaron Joneses and the other guys, talk about how they want Sam Darnold back and stuff like that, because there's no other guys on the roster that are in that same development process.
Yeah, no, you go free agents. You primarily you end up with an old ass overpaid team is what you end up with.
And that's exactly where we're at. That's exactly where we're at, and that's the problem. That's why you got Aaron Jones, who's probably going to get cut. Talking about, oh yeah,
we're glad of that. We are glad of that because we don't like tackling him for whatever reason. We do not like tackling Aaron Jones. Now, I was going to ask my guys on our show this week if they release Hargrave, do we think he's an upgrade on our D line?
He's too old.
Hargrave can't. He's a situational defensive lineman at this point.
Yeah.
He can't stop the run. Like we paid him $15 million a season, and he's basically a situational guy that can only play on third down.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
He was a part-timer, and that's like Clarence. That's what I'm telling you. Like that's what's wrong with this team. Like it starts from the owners to the front office to the coaches, man. Like if you look at our squad from the Vikings, man, where is the development on this roster outside of the quarterback? Let's just put quarterback to the side. Where do you see any young talent emerging on our roster?
Well, you got one of the best wide receivers in the league. That dude's bad.
I said young talent. Young talent. Jefferson's already in his fifth year. Where do you, since Kevin O'Connell has been with this team, who has developed into anything?
I mean, they brought in guys that have made a difference. I mean, Van Ginkel's been a good player. They brought him in as a free agent. Is Donovan Jackson any good?
Donovan Jackson was hurt majority of the year. Like he had his own injury issues. He was solid, but
I mean, Jordan Addison was a decent pickup. I mean, he was a first rounder too, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's arrested every year.
Yeah, well, right. No, I understand that.
I'm just like I told you guys. I'm a Viking fan, and I'm gonna call it how it is. Like, where's the development?
Even Hawkinson they traded for, they didn't develop him, did they?
And ever since his knees blew out, he's not the same player. So since we had Kevin O'Connell, who on this roster that Kevin O'Connell and that regime has drafted has emerged into something that we can say, yeah, we got that.
Was Darisaw before O'Connell?
Darisaw was before O'Connell too.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a whole lot to trade here for picks, honestly. I mean, unless you make the big move and go off of Jefferson, but I mean that's
I would have traded Jefferson.
You almost really and truly, if you want to do this right, you almost have to get rid of Jefferson.
I'm open to it. I don't like the way he's talking right now.
So you want a tank, basically. You want if they don't.
You want a tank and build us up.
No, I don't necessarily. I don't want to use the tank word. I just think that
we're good at it. We are good at it. We embrace it. I mean, let me tell you something. All jokes aside, it's the only thing that kept our sanity watching Chicago football every Sunday was the simple fact that we did not want to win that football game because we knew we were stunting our growth winning games. And it still came down to Lovie Smith bailing us out.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
True.
Our motto is let's play well and lose today.
That's right. That's right.
But you guys, though, like, there's a difference, like with Ben Johnson, like being a Viking fan, like we saw him in Detroit. We saw the football mind in Detroit, right? And that's not Kevin O'Connell. Like, it's not, because for one thing, he doesn't know how to run the ball effectively in situations. And that's one thing you gotta do in the NFL. You gotta be able to run the ball, and he can't do that. So it's kind of like we can.
But your running back is always hurt, though, D Woods. I mean, you can't depend on Aaron Jones. I mean, when he plays the Chicago Bears, he's guaranteed to have a great game. But any other time, this guy gets nicked up and he misses 2, 3 games, and you got to be able to depend on your mail carrier. And
So,
his guy, no matter what uniform he wears, he always seems to be injured.
so Clarence and everybody, you know, and Todd and Andy. So this is why I don't blame the general manager for the downfall and why we're here. Kevin O'Connell, after the playoff loss against the LA Rams in Phoenix, he basically got on the podium and said, hey, we need to revamp our interior offensive line, and we need to, you know, probably do something at running back. The general manager immediately goes out there. He goes get Ryan Kelly, and we can talk about Ryan Kelly, how he was hurt too. He drafts Donovan Jackson, and he overpays for real fries in the offseason, revamped the whole interior offensive line, right? Then he goes and trades for Jordan Mason, who's a good short yardage back.
No, Mason's an all right back.
Yeah, he's a good short yardage back to pair with Aaron Jones, right? Aaron Jones should have been number 2 this whole season. What does Kevin O'Connell do? Chooses not to run the ball. So it's kind of like if you can be mad at the GM for certain things, especially like, you know, a couple of draft picks or whatever. But if you ask for something and you get it and you're still not using it, that's kind of on you, man.
So you might could trade O'Connell. I'm telling you, he's beloved nationally. You might get some team giving you a 2nd round pick for the coach.
So D, are you out on O'Connell? You're saying he needs to go?
Like I was telling you backstage, I'm 70-30. And
wow.
The 70 is out. The 30 is the idea of, I understand that Kevin O'Connell is at a pivotal stage in his career as a coach. And this is the time to where he's either going to figure things out and right the ship, or he's going to be fired next year. I mean, have you guys ever seen a situation where a franchise fired the general manager but keeps the coaching staff intact for multiple years? The coaching staff pretty much almost.
I'm pretty sure we've done that. I'm pretty sure we've done that. If I think about it, if I think about it, I'm pretty sure we have done that.
I mean, we fought for a long time to get a GM and a coach lined up together, which we have now finally.
Yes,
that's something you need to do. I feel. I mean, you're closer to it, but seems to me that if they bring in somebody, they probably try to get them on the same path.
I would have after this season, man. In my opinion, if I was ownership, if I was the Wills, instead of waiting to fire Kwesi, which was pretty much dumb. Like, why would you fire your general manager before the offseason really kicks off? If you're going to fire him, you're going to fire them Black Monday. I would have fired everybody, the whole coaching staff included. I would have got another general manager. I would have got a new coach in here, and then we would have been able to figure it out from there. But all they're doing is just prolonging the inevitable. That's why we're talking about Tua and Kyler Murray. Kevin O'Connell is in a situation to where he doesn't have a general manager to call him out on his shit. He's doing what he wants to do, and basically at that point, he's making the decisions. He's trying to keep his job.
It's bad when unless you fire a general manager for cause. But if you fire him for production on the field, then the coach has to go too.
Exactly.
You just don't do it. Because what's going to happen? You get a general manager in there next year, then what are you going to do?
Yeah,
you fire McConnell if they have another bad year. You have sent yourself back another year.
You're wasting time at that point.
Or the GM has the excuse of, well, we're bad, but I didn't pick this coach, so let me pick. That's you just.
What was our general manager? I can't think of the guy's name. We hired him, and he keeps Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith wins 10 games and he fires him. The guy that was in the personnel department, and we made him the general manager.
Ted Phillips.
No, after Phillips.
Pace.
It was the guy that got rid of Urlacher.
D'Angelo? I can't.
Gary D'Angelo, yeah.
Was it Emery? Was it Emery or something?
Emery, Phil Emery, yeah.
Phil Emery.
All the general managers we've gone through.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what we did. That's exactly what we did. We bring Phil Emery in, and Lovie Smith was already on thin ice. We bring Phil Emery in, and Lovie Smith doesn't make the playoffs, but he wins 10 football games, and Phil Emery fires him, and it just really goes to hell after that.
Yeah.
Right on me first. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like the thing with Kevin O'Connell, man, I don't know what he has and what's being talked about, like why some Viking fans and Viking media love him so much, but
They do.
I look at it like this though. I did a video about a month or two ago because like I was like Zimmer is probably one of my favorite coaches for the Vikings, right?
Yeah,
I love
your
him.
guy. Yeah.
Like that was my guy, right? So if you look at the parallels, Kevin O'Connell is actually going into year 5. Mike Zimmer going into year 5. We had already made the playoffs twice and was playing in the NFC title game. Like that's a trajectory that we had, even though we still had the quarterback issues. And if you look at the reason why Rick Spielman and Mike Zimmer got fired is because they couldn't figure out the quarterback. The defense was aging. They
were playing old school football.
Yeah, too many veterans on the team. You know, the offensive line was bad. But now you fast forward to going to year 5 of Kevin O'Connell. We don't know what the quarterback is. Offensive line is bad, and the defense is getting older.
That sounds like Bears.
It's the
same. Like the Bears for years.
You know, like I asked my Viking fans that, like, what's the difference between Mike Zimmer right now and Kevin O'Connell? And they give me the excuse like, but we won 14 games, but Mike Zimmer went to the NFC title game. Like we had playoff wins, we had trajectory, and we still have the same questions since they got fired right now. Who
are they talking about for a backup for JJ? Are they still talking? Wentz isn't under contract, is he?
Nah, Wentz is they're trying to sign Wentz back so he don't get a lawsuit.
I just wondered if they were thinking about bringing Cousins back.
I mean,
I think it's possible.
It's possible
because he's going to be on the cheap.
Yeah, because Kevin O'Connell, he's been in Kevin O'Connell offense for that long. That can be Kevin O'Connell's savior of winning 10, 12 games, getting back to the playoffs and getting back in good grace.
But he's putting band-aids on it. This is a bigger issue for this team. There's no longevity of winning with this football team. You're old on a lot of spots. You're trying to trim down. I mean, you got to revamp this team.
You have to bring in kids and just ride it out.
Exactly. You have to bring in,
which is the reason why you don't fire the general manager and keep the coach. Unless you think the coach is going to line through there, but then you got to make sure the general manager is aligned with the coach that's there right now. Because the moment they start losing, he's going to say, "Hey, I didn't hire this guy. You told me I had to keep him."
Yeah, I didn't do it. I mean, and that's the reason why, like I say, like it was never just crazy. I think what really kicked this whole team off this offseason for things going haywire outside of Big Sam winning the Super Bowl was the fact that Mike Pitton got on Cleveland sports radio or podcast and basically called out Flores for not being able to work with him and basically pushing him out on the defense side of the ball and going to offense. And Brian Flores didn't have a contract. So then he signs. The next week, Kwesi gets fired. It's a lot of backdoor and pointing fingers with this organization right now. You can tell.
Listen, and I'm going to tell you this right here. This is kind of like off the kilter, but I understand and I respect what you said about Sam Darnold. But for me, as a Bear fan, if Justin Fields would have went to the Jets and won the Super Bowl, I would have had a problem with it. I'd have been happy for Justin Fields, but it would have bothered me. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm just telling you. I'm going to keep it real. Because if the guy that you don't want no more goes to another team and wins, and the guy who you chose over him is not able to get the job done, I'm going to have a problem with it. And especially at the end of the season, if that dude's holding the Lombardi trophy, I'm going to have a problem with it.
I get it, but I understand that Sam Darnold wasn't going to win a Super Bowl with us, regardless of what we had on our roster. Like,
I mean, Sam had a great year with the Vikings. Yeah. Sam was a Jet, and Sam was a Panther, the 49er. I mean, he's on his 5th team, right? I mean, he can't say, this is my guy. I'm
asking you guys, Andy and Ty, you tell me, Justin Fields wins a Super Bowl in the Jets this year. I'm not talking about from now on, but if he had done it this year, you guys telling me you weren't going to feel some type of way?
I would be pissed. I would be really upset. Because I like to think we got it right at the quarterback position finally. I would have been upset.
Minnesota Vikings thought the same thing. That's what I'm saying. They had to. Yeah. They had to.
I didn't think
so. Because it's the Jets, there was no chance of that ever happening.
No. Now we know watching Sam Darnold play that defense was legendary, and they covered up a lot of the mistakes that he made. I'm talking about Seattle's defense.
Oh,
Talking
okay.
about Seattle's defense.
I
Yeah.
thought you said right.
I'm talking about Seattle defense. They cover up a lot of them warts. I mean, but still, at the end of the day, you see a guy that leaves you and they're winning the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm looking at the front office like, dude, what happened here? Because when that guy was here, we were winning double-digit football games. Now we're last in the second best division in football. We're no longer the best division. I don't care what nobody say. It's the NFC West, but second best division in football, and now we're last place, and we're firmly there because all other three teams has guys. We don't have them. We don't even know if the guy we chose over the guy who just won the Super Bowl can get us there. And now we got all these other questions. I mean, I would feel some type of way.
It's Kevin O'Connell.
I think if I was a Bears fan, I had a 4,000-yard quarterback in my room that we've never had. I would have tried to keep Sam Darnold if I was the Bears, and he threw for 4,000 yards for me.
Well, it's never happened for us. So.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, if it finally happened, I would definitely I was shocked when he left Darnold leave because he threw for 4,000 yards. He had a
I was too.
Well, it's because they didn't have any money left because all that free agent spending.
Yeah,
I'm telling you guys, even though it wasn't the Vikings let him leave. That's not what happened.
No, I know.
Sam chose the better option for himself.
So they made a competitive offer to Sam?
Yeah, they did. But it just didn't they just didn't solidify the fact that Sam was going to be the starter.
Right, that's what it was.
Well, they could have tagged him. I mean, they could have kept him. They could have
tagged him. They were trying to do a sign and tag that offseason, but nobody bid on it. So Sam left. And the other thing that we talking about Sam, Daniel Jones had a great year before he got hurt last year.
Yeah, I know.
And he was in our building also. Yeah. So it's like,
you're right. Yeah.
If you think about it, these guys knew. It wasn't like they knew that J.J. McCarthy wasn't going to be the future of this team going into 2025. They already had an inclination of being on the roster for a whole season. They knew where the Minnesota Vikings were going to go. Daniel Jones said, hey, you know what? They're going with J.J. I have a better chance of beating out Anthony Richardson with the Colts. I'm going to go over there. Sam, they just traded Geno. I know I'm going to be the bona fide starter over there. And if you look at Sam Darnold's deal, it was basically like a 1-year deal because they could have got out of it within year 2. Yeah. And it was similar to the same deal we offered him. They chose to leave. I blame Kevin O'Connell, not Kwesi, for this because he shouldn't have had J.J. McCarthy ready to go. They shouldn't have coached him up a little bit better during the offseason. And I'm going to ask you guys this. We don't even know what our offensive coordinator does. I'm not sure if he gets the donuts or he gets the coffee because we don't know. He doesn't do anything. But at the same time, Kevin O'Connell was supposed to be this offensive guru, and then you see McCarthy struggling, and you wait till week 14 to change the offense.
Yeah, that's not unlike what we have. I mean,
we have offensive coordinator.
He puts in the hours that Ben doesn't want to do, and he does all the dirty work that Ben doesn't want to do, and he doesn't get the call he plays. But
they go over. The offensive coordinator. I mean, it's easy for it to say, but they have a very important job. They got to go over the game tape, and they also got to go over game plan as well, and helping install the offense, and those coordinators, the position coaches are still reporting to them and that kind of stuff. So they got to do that. Ben Johnson doesn't have time to do all of that. But, the play calling is very important, but also it's the offensive game plan as well. There are times when we're sitting up there looking at Ben Johnson, we're pulling our hair out, because of some of the decisions that he's making as well. You got to have a guy that you respect that's in your ear saying, Coach, we need to kick this,
But see, Kevin O'Connell does not have that. He has a lot of yes men.
And neither do we.
If we see now, like he's bringing in Frank Smith, he's bringing in all these other guys that have more of an offensive line / running philosophy that he's bringing in because he knows he's lacking there. But at the same time, you still didn't get rid of guys like Josh McCown, who basically was responsible for J.J. McCarthy this offseason. You let Greg Dudzinski go to become an offensive coordinator, in Jacksonville, and now you see Trevor Lawrence take a step and he looks a whole lot better. That was our quarterback coach last year.
Yeah, but I think
where's Josh McCown? Where's Josh McCown at now?
He got demoted. He's still our coaching staff, but he has got demoted from quarterback coach to passing game coordinator. So he's no longer working directly with McCarthy now. Like,
I love Josh McCown.
Yeah,
I think he did a hell of a job when he was in Chicago.
Yeah, he's a top 5 Bear QB still.
Yeah,
as a coach, though. As a coach, champ.
Yeah, I understand that.
No, I know he was the quarterback coach when we had Jay Cutler.
yeah.
I love him.
And he was a quarterback coach the first year of Bryce Young.
Well, that Panthers team was no good when they drafted Bryce Young. That was a horrible team.
Look at McCarthy's first year playing.
Yeah. I mean, you got to give these quarterbacks time to develop, though. I feel like we do.
Yeah, I mean,
as a league, as a whole, you draft these guys in their first round. You want them to come in and be a day one starter from day one.
It's hard to evaluate when they're on injured.
McCarthy probably should have started the year off holding the clipboard, in my opinion.
I'm with that. If you have to have a situation to where he has a trajectory of Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers where they sit multiple years, that could have been the game plan. But you couldn't do that because you signed Sam Darnold to 1 year. So the next
and I think you guys drafted him too high too. I don't when y'all drafted. I don't think that was his right position to be drafted. I really don't. I think you reached.
But that was Kevin O'Connell's pick. That's who you wanted.
I really think you reached.
Well, the Broncos have done pretty good with Bo Nix behind him, but that's a hell of a coach there too.
Think about that though, right? Out of all those quarterbacks that was drafted that year, Caleb wins the playoff game. Looks great. You got Drake May went to the Super Bowl. Dane Daniels wins MVP. He goes to the NFC title game. Damn near Bo Nix hasn't missed the playoffs at all.
He's probably in the Super Bowl. He doesn't get hurt this year.
Exactly. Then you got McCarthy and Michael Penix.
Yeah.
The two that actually played in the title game for college can't stay on the field because they both keep getting hurt. Yeah. That's why.
Well, I think Bo Nix was a better college quarterback than McCarthy was. I think McCarthy was just on the better team.
He was just more experienced.
Yeah, he was older.
I think Harbaugh.
But Michigan ran the ball though. Michigan didn't ask him to sling that ball all over the place the way they were doing Bo Nix.
They won a national champion. You know who he slung it to? Colston Loveland.
Yeah, Colston Loveland. So
I get to mention him on every podcast.
I'm glad you said that, right? So if you knew that McCarthy didn't throw the ball a lot in college, and you didn't spend a lot of time with him developing his mechanics in the offseason because he was hurt and all these other situations, why would you try to run the offense the same way you ran with Sam Darnold? Why don't you go to a run-heavy offense? When you went to a
why draft him where you drafted him?
When you go to a run-heavy offense, you win the last 5 games of the season. Like
because I have a giant ego and they're gonna work in my system.
Exactly, Todd.
That's Matt Nagy right there. That was Matt Nagy's downfall.
That's most of those.
That's why Matt Nagy don't have a job right now too.
Yeah, he does.
Well, not as a head coach.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that's going to work, and I don't even know what he was thinking. What was John Harbaugh thinking bringing Matt Nagy in? That's just crazy.
Desperate. Everybody.
That's idiotic. You're looking to get fired again.
I would have brought in Mike McDaniel for Jackson Dart. I would have brought in somebody like that for him.
Yeah,
I mean, Jackson Dart. Todd said it best. Jackson Dart, Scatterbo, and Neighbors have no value in fantasy now.
Nope.
Because that's how bland Matt Nagy's offense is. No imagination, no route tree, nothing. It's just so bland. And it has to work. His offense has to work. It don't matter about the quarterback. His offense is that great.
Exactly.
He doesn't tailor make it to the offense.
Yeah.
Like he was a horrible hire. And now you can reflect on it and look back.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
I agree. It was horrible.
Yeah.
So going forward with the offseason, what do you guys need to do to stay up top of this
Defense.
Right?
Plain and simple. Defense.
Yeah,
you looking at free agency or draft?
I want.
Oh no. Well,
we don't have money like we usually do for free agency. I think we're going to be on. I think we're going to look for value. I wouldn't be surprised me if we don't sign anybody on day one, because usually we come out and bang, bang, bang. Edmonds, Edwards, Swift. I mean, we got Dahlman last year on day one. I don't think it wouldn't surprise me. We don't sign anybody on day one. We let the prices come down because we are really against the cap this year.
Okay. Now, go ahead, Todd.
I just, that it depends. I mean, if we see a bunch of restructures in the next few weeks, really, the free agency, we have to have an edge rusher. But our bigger problem, it's equal. We have to stop the run, which we couldn't do, and we have to get pressure. We've got to figure out a way to do that, and we have to get faster overall on defense than we are.
Yes.
So the speed side of it's going to come out of the draft. Obviously, they're kids, they're faster. That's just the way it's going to be. But I think that I've been all about the Crosby trade. I don't think that's going to happen anymore.
No,
I think that if we could restructure enough money, we could get on. If we do a smart short-term deal with Trey Hendrickson, that would solve a little bit of our pass rush there. And then we just draft the kids for speed and learn how to and guys that can stop the run. That's what we need more than anything.
Okay, that makes sense. Now for us on defense side of the ball, we only got 2 playable corners. This is we only got 2 corners that can play.
We got 0 safeties right now. 0.
Yeah. You need a safety too.
We need 3. We need 3 safeties because we don't have that either. Like the secondary is overall bad. I think that has to be addressed in the draft. Maybe you can bring in 1 or 2 guys, maybe a veteran safety or a veteran corner. Maybe you can do that. But the defense is getting old, and there's too many holes on this defense, side of the ball. Especially with the DBs. I mean, I like Brian Flores to a certain extent, but you got to start developing some young guys, man. You really do. I don't want to see Harrison Smith coming back for another.
Is he coming back? That's kind of what I'm hearing.
Yeah, they're saying he might come back. I don't. If I'm the Wilfs, I'm just like, hey, you got to come back and play somewhere else. We just had a whole ceremony for you the last game.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're not doing that twice. So
he's 37, right? I mean,
he's old. I mean, come on, man. I mean, he's younger than me, but at the same time, like football years, Harry, like go somewhere else, man. Like I just don't understand it. But that's one thing too. Like if Brian Flores wants to talk Harrison Smith to come back, dude, you rather talk a guy who's 37 years old who can't play all the snaps on defense versus you developing a young safety in his place.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a good coach if you're trying to get the old guys to come back all the time, man. That's just how I look at it, man. It's tough.
I feel like our defense is just so bland. Like we just, we spent money on Jarrett. That's a miss. We spent money on Deo. That's a miss. Yeah. We're going to cut Tremaine Edmonds. We have no safeties. We just need a major overhaul in defense, all 3 levels.
At least you guys had no Sean Wright last year.
He's going to be outpriced.
You might can land him. I don't know how much money you guys got, but he's looking for a deal.
You mean again?
Yes, you cut him. Or whatever you did, release him, then resign him.
Because Brian Flores didn't want to play him because he decided to play Stephon Gilmore and Shaq Griffin over No Sean Wright. And No Sean never got any burn.
These coaches just have faith in these veterans, and the rookies are going to make them look bad. But now you don't have any. You don't have any young players.
But the guy that actually traded for him was the general manager because he whiffed on, Andrew Booth in the second round of the draft. But he traded him for a guy that ended up going to you guys, winning the Pro Bowl, who had a pick 6 against us in the first game.
But Wright came out of nowhere. That he was supposed to be our 5th DB. He wasn't supposed to have the year he had.
But as the kid can play, he can play, man. That's what I'm saying. That's why I can't really blame the general manager for everything. Like he tried, but when you got coaching staff that only wants to go with the veterans, then you kind of stuck, man. You're kind of stuck. So yeah. What about you, Clarence? What about the offense? Think the offense?
I don't think the offense is set. We still got questions on what we're going to do about DJ Moore. DJ Moore makes $28 million, and you can't have a $28 million wide receiver being your third option on offense. I'm just sorry. You just cannot. I ain't never been that high on DJ Moore, even when he was here with the Carolina Panthers. We have got to find a way to move him. More likely, we're going to talk him into extending his deal to bring his cap number down, which will give us some money to spend in free agency. And if we can't move him, then I'm fine with that. Now, cutting him, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Todd, $6 million in dead money, which is
Yeah,
not really a lot.
it doesn't make sense to cut it. I
But
don't
I
like
mean,
the research.
I mean, it don't.
I want to reunite him with Nagy. That's what I want to do.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, we got options. I mean, and we're going to explore them. But something, and from my estimate, from where I sit, has to be done about a guy making $28 million, and he's not your first or second optional offense. I've got a problem with that.
He's not even top 10 in the league.
I mean,
He's
the
not
only
top
real
40 in the league.
The only real hole I see on offense, unfortunately, is offensive tackle, left tackle, due to Ozzie Trapillo and his patella. That's really our only hole that we have a spot, and I can say we need a starter. We got to do something about that left tackle now, because we're not going to re-sign Braxton Jones most likely, so we don't have a left tackle.
You can do a fourth rounder for Darrisaw. That might work out all right.
I'll take it.
I could even do you DJ Moore for Darrisaw.
No, I don't need any other receivers. I mean, I'll take it, because the thing about our offensive line, I cannot say that they're bad, because Kevin O'Connell's play calling and his long developing plays down the field and all this extra stuff, they are forced to block a whole lot longer. And if you see guys that were with our team like Ed Ingram, Garrett Bradbury played in the Super Bowl, Dalton Reisner that went to Cincinnati, even Ezra Cleveland, when they get out of the Kevin O'Connell offense, it seems like their PFF numbers goes up. They end up being Pro Bowlers and stuff like that, because they're able just to play the position. Kevin O'Connell gets these guys and he makes them look bad, because you want the quarterback to drop back, 7 steps and do a fake here and a hitch there. You want your receivers on the outside to do a couple of double moves. That takes time.
Yeah,
so then next thing you know, you got McCarthy who's getting rushed, and now he got guys looking at him about to sack him. He throws the ball crazy because he ain't got no, he's waiting for receivers to develop. Like it's ridiculous. So I can't say the offensive line is a problem for us, because we've had the guys. I think we're overspending on guys. I think
you are.
Yeah, we are. We're overspending. Like there's no reason why. I mean, I don't know if you guys look at the PFF numbers or stuff like that. There's no reason why we had Ed Ingram playing right guard for us for 3 seasons, drafted by Kwesi, and he looks like trash because he has to hold his block too long. He goes the next year and excels with Houston, and he's probably going to be one of the top touted guards in free agency this year. Garrett Bradbury plays in the Super Bowl for New England Patriots. Didn't miss a game. Didn't give up a sack. But then you overpay for Ryan Kelly, who has.
Yeah, I mean the Colts were done. Colts were done with both of those guys, and I mean that was
for a reason.
But there's something to be said, like us, right? Like our interior offensive line it was the strength of our team this year, and it had been a problem for us. But I'm telling you, Caleb's escapability buys that extra 2 seconds. It's amazing, and it's nerve wracking instead of just taking the easy check down or whatever else. But it's made all the difference. Him being able to escape that stuff just makes those offensive linemen look better than they are.
True. Well, the quarterback also knowing where he wants to go with the ball, being able to read defenses helps out a lot too. And Caleb Williams was criticized a lot for the amount of time that he held on to the ball. He got better, but I still think he's got a ways to go.
But it was night and day from year 1 to year 2 with that.
It was night and day, but also he still had more time because he had a whole totally different line as well.
He had better players, but still he stretched them to their limit. But his ability to avoid the sack was huge last year.
And we're criticizing him too because we feel like he needs to go to his check down more.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's trying to play hero ball.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
They all want to do that. They all want to do that.
He does that a lot.
That was on his draft card, and he likes to play hero ball more than he should. Yeah. That was on his draft card, on his scouting report. I mean, But his ability to extend plays and like I'll never forget the throw to Cole Kmet the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like I thought, oh my God, he's throwing it away. Like I never thought that was going to be called.
I mean, he retreated 20 yards on that play.
But this is the thing that we argue about on our show. It's me against both of them, and I don't have to tell you who's usually right. But this is the thing that bothers me with them. This is the thing that bothers with them. The national media and my two compadres here want to tout him for these unbelievable throws that he makes under pressure. And okay, you did it. But let's talk about the 5 or 6 easy throws that you just freaking missed. That you wouldn't even be in a situation to where we have got to retreat 20 yards to make this miraculous throw if you had been able to hit on some of those other throws. We talk about routine over the middle, wide open throws that you're throwing balls behind guys. I mean, he did that all year long.
That's why
all year long.
His completion percentage is garbage.
As a Viking fan and a football fan first, I'm going to admit that game against the LA Rams, that throw he did to get them into the overtime, I'm talking about the whole house went wild. We Viking fans here. I mean, like, if you're able to do something like that, like, I don't know why that wasn't the best play in football the whole season. Like, my opinion, that was like, I'm like, oh, he dropped back 20 yards. It's over. God damn. We going to overtime. So I'm like
let's talk about the throw that ended the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. You don't even have to. If you had it was second down. Why? Why even throw that? We're trying to get into field goal range. What are you doing? Quit playing hero ball, because that's exactly what you just got through doing, and it cost us the game. Yeah, that throw into a touchdown that got us into overtime was spectacular, but you ended the game throwing a pick, and it was and it was dumb.
But Clarence, think about this though, right? He's already doing that in year 2. Can you only
year 1 with Ben?
Year 1 with Ben. Can you only imagine like another offseason, with this coaching staff and him actually coming into his own and actually being able to see things a little bit clearer, like, reading NFL defense a little bit better. Like I mean,
absolutely. Absolutely. I would much rather be me than you right now. All jokes aside. I would much rather be me because we have spent a lot of time in your position. And I ain't gonna lie to you, brother. You're gonna have some off seasons for you, bro. Some off seasons for you. We have been there. We have wrote the book. We got the t-shirt. What you about to experience, we know all about it.
I hope it won't be so bad. It's crazy because my second video I did for my channel, and it's still on here, is my video where I'm going deep diving on why the Minnesota Vikings should trade Justin Jefferson before they pay him, because I want the Vikings to be able to draft Caleb Williams in the draft next year. Like
bro.
I ain't even know a lot of y'all. Like I was big on Caleb coming out, man. Like I knew he was gonna be electric, but
I wasn't. There were other things that I wanted to do, but that's another show. We've had plenty of them on our take, but that was the reason why we started our show, because we had walked out of the bar too many times pissed off at what we were seeing. We have seen a lot of bad football. We have been the laughing stock of our division, the laughing stock of our league. It's hard to have your rivals sit up there and don't even worry about playing you. They marked it down as a win. So Aaron Rodgers didn't fear the Chicago Bears. I mean, they could be on a 4-game losing streak, see the Bears coming, and like, okay, we finna right the ship next Sunday. That was their thought process in the building. And we had nothing to do but to sit there and take it. Meanwhile, in the front office and the sidelines, we had nothing but idiocy happening. And it was time after time, week after week, season after season. And it was not until Ryan Poles got there and we cut a lot of that stuff out. The only bad decision that I would say that he's made is hiring Eberflus. When he did.
Hired him.
He hired Eberflus.
Yeah. He hired him.
Fired him too. He shouldn't have fired him.
He should have fired him.
After year 2,
It's-
they should have let him go.
Exactly. Exactly. Because and that's some of the stuff that you were talking about, culture decisions. What we saw what Eberflus did, was just mind boggling. When
That
you
was
got to fire offensive coordinators mid-season and this and that, and we ended up having to fire Eberflus, which is something we never done
Defensive
in
coordinator
our whole existence.
expectations.
I mean, so
It was bad.
yeah.
I know, man. I know, man. Like it was bad. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm just as a football guy, man. That's why I like to bring on, content creators from other teams, man, because we can have some like different type of dialogue. Just it just gets over redundant sometimes when when you just talking about it from a Viking point of view, especially with you guys. Like we in the same division. Like we got to go against the Pack and we got to go against Detroit. Me personally, I think Detroit is done. I think they ran at the top is done. I think it's basically between y'all and Green Bay right now because Green Bay has.
If they get Crosby, then it's the package that's been rumored that they can offer is it's going to be hard for the Raiders to say no to. They're talking about 2 first-round picks in Williams to
So Detroit or Green Bay?
Raiders.
Detroit.
Detroit.
Detroit has
Detroit.
the cap room.
Detroit.
Detroit's one of the few that have cap room.
Let them do it. Let them do it. Let them do it. I ain't worried about Detroit, man. We beat them twice this year. I ain't worried about them, man. We beat them with an undrafted free agent.
Detroit,
Yeah, that was a terrible game.
And they put 50 on us, didn't they?
Yes,
Sure did.
Yeah.
They was practicing when they played us.
Yeah.
Practicing not to make the playoffs. That's what happened.
Yeah.
So,
He who laughs last laughs best.
I mean, I'm just saying, like this division is a great division. Somebody got an echo over there. Who got it? Wait, let me see. Yeah, it's a great division. Like Clarence said, in the NFC West, that one is tough. I think the only team that doesn't compete over there is the Cardinals, and we all know why. So, yeah, but yeah, man. I mean, that's where we at, man. I hope we can get better this year, man. I hope McCarthy can get better. But just like Clarence said, man, we might be in for a tough road ahead for us, man.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's about to suck to be you, brother. It's about to suck to be you.
It's all right, man. I'm a football guy. I can go to a couple of Rams games. But I'm gonna wrap it up, man, for y'all, man. So I really appreciate y'all, on this off season, man. Just like I said before, this is different. We only really like vibe or get to the crossover, during the season. But we gotta do this more, man. I really like, bouncing ideas off you guys, man. And the conversation's been great, and the mutual respect is there. So it's great. It's great, man. I'm gonna try to have you guys on, if not again through the off season or maybe, especially during the season. So what y'all got out there, man? Andy, why don't you put your the link to your channel in the chat real quick before we get out of here?
Okay. How do you know how to do that?
But while he's doing that, let me just once again, brother, say thank you for having us on. When we got into this, man, it was just a forum for us to bitch and complain about our Bears. I mean, it really started, the idea started floating around when Nagy was the coach. And I can tell you there were a lot of Sundays we walked out of the bar pissed off.
Yes.
And so it just evolved, and the idea became to a plan, and the plan came to what you have seen today. And to be able to get on other people's forums who was willing to extend a platform for us to get on there and talk about, the game that we all love is truly rewarding. And we meeting new people such as yourself. So once again, man, thank you for
No
having
problem.
us on. And anytime that you want to come on our show, let Andy know. Anytime you need us to pull up, we would definitely pull up.
No problem. Let me try to get the link up in there real quick.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat. It says join the chat, but it doesn't let me start typing.
I can get it up there. There we go.
But anyway, to echo what Clarence said, thanks for having us. Thanks for the invite. You're welcome on our show anytime. I got to wish my boy happy birthday again. So I don't think we forgot anybody. I'm just eager. I'm eager for free agency. We're 2 weeks away. I'm eager to see what we're going to do. I don't think we're going to go big. I think we're going to go home. But
there you go. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, thank you for that. I mean, I'm ready for free. I'm ready for football again.
I mean, you got the spring league.
I know, but I need football.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, damn, we got the appetite, and then, damn it, we were so close to beating the Rams.
That's the thing about football, man. It's like we go through this long off season and all these moves and transactions here and there, and players going there, some coaches going there, and then when we get to the season, man, it's like it's a sprint. It's over so fast, man. It's like, come on, man. Like,
What they was, what they're not telling you is the reason why Andy wants to so eager to get back is because us three were in the fantasy football playoffs on our league. You know, we were all in, and Andy and Todd played each other. You know, and I had told them the whole year once my team came back healthy, I wasn't going to lose another game, and that's exactly what happened. So, let me enjoy my off season as the champ. Let me bathe in my glory. I know I lay it on thick, but it's my birthday weekend, so I can lay it on thick.
Yeah.
I do got one more question for y'all too, though. Right? This is something I just thought of right now. It's been on my mind. How do you guys feel about the Pro Bowl?
Stupid.
Waste of time.
Yeah.
You think it should go back to what it used to be?
Stupid. No, because now players don't want to get hurt, and you run the risk of injury if you actually play a game. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Just name the Pro Bowl team, just give them the award, and call it a day.
Some of the
All-Star games is a waste of time.
Yeah, so, I mean, the game itself is some of the things they do around it are pretty interesting, and I lived in Orlando forever, so I want to leave it there. But other than that, that some of the silly things they do. I remember Amon-Ra St. Brown jumping a hurdle thing and catching the ball. All the flag game is kind of interesting, but nobody wants to get hurt. So to play a real game is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think just in general of overall, major sports like Major League Baseball gets the All-Star game, right? Basketball's All-Star game needs to go away, in my opinion. The football All-Star game needs to go away. And maybe I'm just spoiled because I'm a little bit older and I was able to see it when it was at its height. But as of right now, man, I just like, what are we doing, man? Like this is ridiculous, man. Like it's like what Andy said. Just write the guys down who made the Pro Bowl, send them off, get them whatever they gotta get them a cool little t-shirt for the day or whatever.
Bonus check.
And go from there. Because if you ain't gonna play no football, then don't do it at all.
And they're not going to play hard if you do play a game because they're going to be worried about getting hurt.
Right.
It's just no.
I mean, the biggest joke was the year when Trubisky was a Pro Bowler, and they sit out there, he's taking pictures like he actually earned the spot. And I'm sorry, but I hate Mitchell Trubisky. I do. But then this year when they had Shadura going, he didn't earn that spot. Exactly. I mean, come on. Stop it.
Maybe they were.
What are you doing?
And you love Shador.
Maybe they were preparing.
And I do.
Black football career. Maybe that's
bro. I mean that when that stuff like that's happening, it lets you know that it's a waste of time of what you're doing.
It's not being taken seriously. So you're gonna see Shador Sanders when you look at his accolades or whatever. You're gonna be like saying Pro Bowler. Shador Sanders, and it's like Pro Bowler for what? Like
it's on his resume. It's on Trubisky's resume. Like he actually earned it. He was just the only person that said yes. Everybody else didn't want to go or was injured. Get out of here.
Guarantee you there was a bunch of money for a bonus on it. You know that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, man. That's what I'm saying. If you're not gonna do it right, go back to how it used to be when it was in Hawaii and it was after the season was over. And the team that actually won the Super Bowl could actually go down there and brag to everybody else. Do that. Like I just don't like the format. I understand the NFL is a business and they're making money. And that's me. When you have too much money in these businesses and these sports, that's when the gameplay starts to deteriorate. It's like a lot of these overseas games. We spent two games back to back playing in Dublin and playing in England. That took away a home game for us, and we ended up going 1-0. And I understand. I know NFL it prints its own money, but at the same day,
it does.
At the same time, when you start messing around with the play on the field and all these other things, and the product on the field is starting to deteriorate, we got to start having a conversation about it. Like
It's the sponsors. The sponsors with the Pro Bowl is the problem. But we lose a home game this year because we got to play a game overseas. So that's one less game that people in Chicago are going to go get to watch.
And speaking about Chicago, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I know a lot of talk out there, but y'all moving to Indiana, man. What's going on? It's not
leverage.
It
ain't happening.
I remember when the Vikings, before they built their stadium where it's at right now, that they were using LA as leverage to kind of figure things out. I knew
Kevin Warren, your guy, did that. He's doing it with us now too.
You can have Kevin Warren back.
No.
We'll give you Kevin Warren for a pack of Gatorade. You ain't even got to give us a case. Just give us a pack of Gatorade.
Throw in a bag of chips and we got a deal.
Yeah, we'll happily give it to you. And I'll help his ass pack.
Nah, we don't want him back. How I look at it, I want everybody going. I want everybody from top to bottom. We gotta turn over this front office, and we gotta turn over this coaching staff, and then you gotta turn over this roster. That's the only way you're gonna get better. You can't keep running it back and trying to be in win now mode when you ain't won nothing. The only teams that I can say that are currently in win now mode for the past 5 seasons, the Chiefs, the Bills, Eagles, Ravens. You know,
Ravens.
Yeah,
49ers.
49ers, Rams. Like those
Chargers.
Chargers ain't won a playoff game.
If your quarterback is making $150-some million, you had better be in win now mode. Plain and simple.
But Harbaugh wasn't the guy that gave him that money, and he wasn't the guy that brought him in.
But they paid him.
I don't know why.
You got to be in win now mode. You got to be in win. Oh, listen, you trade him and start over. But they paid him.
Trade him. They ain't gonna win with Herbert. Trade him.
I agree with you.
Trade him.
I think you tear it down to the studs too.
Yeah.
Right now, I would do it right now. I would trade him. I would set myself for next year to get a quarterback to get him in there, build up that offensive line. You know, you're going to have a year or two of growing pains, but you'll be better for it. But when your guys making all that money, i.e. Buffalo, and you're still losing and you can't get it done, and you want to blame the head coach, I got a problem with that. Sorry.
And the thing about Buffalo, right? Josh Allen had a beeline to the Super Bowl. This was the first year.
Oh, yeah.
They couldn't get it done.
You don't have Lamar Jackson in the playoffs.
Preach.
Go to the playoffs.
Amen.
And you don't have Joe Burrow in the playoffs.
Hallelujah.
You had no excuse.
None.
I'm not saying he would have won the Super Bowl, but you got no excuse not to get to the Super Bowl. And I knew when I watched that Denver game, I knew when he fumbled that ball at halftime and Denver kicked the field goal and went up another 3 points, I said they're gonna lose this game.
Yeah.
they done. They are done, man. Like,
and how is it McDermott's fault?
It's not.
I mean, how is that McDermott's fault? You paid this dude who underperforms. He is a stat stuffer. He is a guy that you take absolutely if you're playing fantasy football. But anything other than that, you do not take him. He is not going to win for you.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I was talking to guys, and we have this guy on Twitter. He's always talking about Lamar Jackson is not that good, and Josh Allen is great. And when Josh Allen lost, I had to be petty. I said, so Josh Allen lost, and you was talking about Lamar Jackson is not good and everything like that. What you gonna say about Josh Allen? Oh, you got to understand because he hasn't had any receivers. And I said, I don't even know who's a 1,000-yard receiver for Lamar Jackson. Like, it's not like, what are we talking about here? Like, stop making excuses, man. But I agree. Josh Allen better win something quick for real, because if not, he'll be on the trading block soon.
The entire AFC was weak this year. I mean, I think a couple of teams in the NFC could have beat everybody in the AFC this year.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rams could have, I think, won the Super Bowl if they made it against whoever in the AFC. San Francisco maybe could have. We maybe could have.
San Francisco's defense is not good enough.
Yeah.
If Frisco would have been healthy, they could have.
They had so many injuries.
Yeah, they had so many injuries because of their.
I mean, New England was horrible. New England was like the last team standing.
Yeah, exactly.
They got a free pass when Bo Nix got hurt. They had a gimme AFC championship game. I mean, they were just the last team standing out the AFC. And they were horrible. In the Super Bowl.
I mean, I didn't think they were going to beat Houston, but CJ Stroud threw that game away. So,
and there's major questions about him now.
And they still had a chance.
Yeah,
Houston still had a chance because Drake May didn't play well that game either. He gave the ball away too. So it's like you said, they were the last team standing. If Bo Nix doesn't get hurt, Denver is in that Super Bowl easily.
Yeah, I think so too.
Easily.
I think so. I think Seattle was going to win it all either way, no matter who they played. But I think they were the best team this year by far.
Yeah, they were. Shout out to Sam. Congratulations, bro. Be happy for you. But yeah, man, that's all I got for y'all, man. We can get up out of here. I know Clarence got to celebrate his birthday, man. We appreciate it, especially coming on your birthday, man. Thank you everybody in the chat. If you haven't subscribed to their podcast, please subscribe to the Bear Den podcast. They real good over there. They not like other Bears fans that talk crazy. They actually know what they're talking about. So
good for that.
So we're gonna be out of here, and thank y'all.
Thank you. Peace.